Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Technical Standards and Safety Authority's 2021 Carbon Monoxide event. I'm Alexandra Campbell, Vice President of TSSA's Communications and Stakeholder Relations Department, and I'll be your host and facilitator for today. Before I continue with the proceedings, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territories of many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Hundreds of years after the first treaties were signed, those treaties are still relevant today. We at TSSA are grateful to live and work on this land and would like to show our respect for the contributions of Indigenous peoples and recognize the role of treaty making in what is now Ontario. I am pleased that you could join us and our safety partners from the Hawkins-Ginac Foundation for CO Education and Durham Region Fire Services to kick off our carbon monoxide, or CO, in Durham Region. In particular, I would like to acknowledge today's panelists. We have Bonnie Rose, President and CEO of TSSA, Mark Burney, Scugog Fire Chief and Durham Regional Fire Coordinator. We also have John Ginac of the Hawkins-Ginac Foundation for CO Education and Stu Seaton, TSSA's Fuels Safety Investigator. Just before we get started, I have a few quick housekeeping notes to ensure the efficient flow of this meeting. All attendees are in listen-only mode. To turn on closed captioning for this event, please hover your mouse over the video player and click on the CC icon in the bottom right of the video screen. Before and during the question and answer period, you're invited to type your questions for us into the text box on your screen. Please note that a recording of today's event will also be made available on our website at tssa.org or org. So, to get things rolling, I will have Bonnie Rose, President and CEO of TSSA, kick things off. Over to you, Bonnie.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our virtual carbon monoxide safety event. First and foremost, I would like to thank the group of safety experts who are involved with our event today. Mark Burney, Fire Chief of Scugog Fire and Emergency Services and Durham Regional Fire Coordinator, John Ginac from the Hawkins-Ginac Foundation for CO Education, and TSSA's Stu Seaton, Investigator of Fuel Safety. I'm really glad to be here today with this group of individuals, all of whom are so incredibly dedicated to public safety. TSSA is Ontario's provincial regulator for fuel safety, so I'm particularly honored to be here today as we join forces with like-minded, focused safety partners. This event is another gratifying recognition that safety is a shared responsibility. As TSSA transitions towards becoming a modernized outcome-based regulator, our focus is on risk-informed safety outcomes, and our goal is to use our expertise and strong partnerships to achieve positive safety outcomes for the people of Ontario. We use data to understand risk and to shape our approach to safety oversight. Data informs how we develop programs, such as our carbon monoxide public education campaign, to ensure we target risks and can reduce harm. Our mission at TSSA is to enhance safety in Ontario, where people live, work, and play. To do this, it is often a matter of teamwork. That means working with other safety partners like fire and emergency services to manage incidents as they occur and to learn from them. We want to find ways to prevent and reduce the likelihood of incidents repeating themselves in the future. Some of the ways TSSA aims to reduce accidents is by registering contractors and certifying tradespeople who install and service equipment. Equipment is safe, but only when it is installed and maintained by workers who are current with all safety codes and standards and are aware of the proper safety procedures and precautions. In addition, TSSA develops public safety programs such as this one, our Working Together in Our Community Think Safe public education campaign. We aim to bring attention to potentially harmful situations in which human behavior is a primary root cause of serious life-threatening incidents. Today, we are talking about carbon monoxide exposure, and aptly so, since November 1st marks the first day of Carbon Monoxide Week here in Ontario. While Ontario is among the safest regions in Canada, over 65% of all injuries and deaths related to carbon monoxides have occurred in homes due to a lack of regular maintenance of fuel-burning appliances. TSSA is fully committed to continually raising awareness of potential safety risks and ways to prevent them. Thank you for being part of this important discussion. This campaign is one of many. Working together with our safety partner, our goals are clear. We want to raise people's awareness of the risks associated with carbon monoxide in people's homes and enhance their understanding of the actions they can take to protect themselves and their family. The safety approach is straightforward. Inspections of fuel-burning appliances by TSSA certified fuel technicians and regular testing of certified CO alarms. Starting November 1st, the campaign will run throughout the month, reaching residents across the Durham region. Residents can expect to receive life-saving details about carbon monoxide exposure delivered directly to their mailboxes and through local media. I'd like to thank Durham Region Fire Services and the Hawkins-Gignac Foundation for CO Education for their support in kicking off this important community safety initiative. A special thanks to all the fire chief and members of the fire services in Durham Region, Ajax, Oshawa, Pickering, Whitby, Brock, Scugog, and Uxbridge townships, the municipality of Clarington and beyond, for their tireless efforts in keeping Ontario residents safe in all ways, carbon monoxide included. My hope is that this campaign heightens awareness in your community and influences behavior that will ultimately save lives. So please keep an eye out for our carbon monoxide safety materials arriving in your mailboxes over the coming days and take action, think safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. I would now like to call upon Scugog Fire Chief and Durham Region Fire Coordinator, Mark Burney. Over to you, Chief Burney.
Thank you, and good morning. I'd like to start by thanking TSSA and the Hawkins-Gignac Foundation for partnering with Durham's Fire Services to deliver this important campaign. Unfortunately, carbon monoxide emergencies are not unfamiliar to Durham's local fire services. The reality is, one common denominator exists with most carbon monoxide emergencies: the lack of working carbon monoxide alarms. Through the Alarm for Life programs and emergency responses, fire services continue to find dwellings without working smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. This partnership will provide important life safety messaging to all residents across the Durham region, messaging that will assist residents with their personal safety from carbon monoxide, including learning about routine maintenance for carbon monoxide alarms, understanding what a carbon monoxide alarm is saying to you through a burp or through a chirp or a beep, and preventing carbon monoxide emergencies in your home. As the cooler weather approaches, we are faced with an increased risk to carbon monoxide emergencies in our homes. For most, like my family 7 years ago, it took a carbon monoxide alarm to identify the risk and the value of routine maintenance. Today, we will learn about the importance of routine maintenance as it pertains to protecting your family from carbon monoxide. On behalf of your local fire services, I want to highlight this importance. When we respond for carbon monoxide emergencies and begin our investigation into the cause, we will look at fuel burning appliance maintenance and its operation as the root cause. After locating the source of the carbon monoxide in your home, we have no option but to ensure the affected appliance is not used again until certified by a licensed technician. Don't wait for us. Establish a regular maintenance and inspection program for all of your fuel burning appliances. A common misconception is to have a working carbon monoxide alarm near the furnace or fuel burning appliance in your basement. In Ontario, if you have a fuel burning appliance, a fireplace, or an attached garage, it's the law to have working carbon monoxide alarms installed on every sleeping level of your home. This ensures that you hear the alarm when you're most vulnerable while you're sleeping. If you're a tenant, please know that your landlord is responsible for ensuring that you have working alarms in your unit. However, it is your responsibility to notify your landlord that if your unit or if your alarm is not working within your unit. Your local fire services regularly canvass your communities to share life-saving information. We deliver educational smoke and CO alarm programs as part of our normal duties, and we respond to these requests for assistance. If you have any questions about the best place to install your carbon monoxide alarms, if you need assistance to install your carbon monoxide alarm, or if you are hearing an intermittent chirp or beep, need help locating the nuisance alarm, please don't hesitate to contact your fire department using the non-emergency telephone number. If you're concerned about the presence of carbon monoxide in your home due to a full alarm activation, immediately leave your dwelling, go to your safe place, call 911 and ask for the fire department. Do not open windows and doors before exiting. Leave immediately. Please take a moment this week to test your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms in your home. This is a simple action that could save your life. Always remember that keeping your family safe is a shared responsibility. Fire services across Durham Region are here to respond to emergencies, but fire safety and carbon monoxide safety starts with you. Ensure your home has working carbon monoxide alarms. And again, on behalf of the fire departments across Durham Region, thank you and stay safe.
Thank you for that important information, Chief Burney, and all the chiefs and departments across the Durham region. I would now like to call upon John Jinak to come up and speak. John?
Thank you, Alexandra. Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to participate on this panel today. My thanks to Chief Burney and Bonnie Rose from Tsfa for hosting this virtual event. As you've heard, today marks the start of Tssa's Carbon Monoxide Community Campaign that coincides with the province's CO Awareness Week. Our hope is to share vital information to help Durham Region residents stay safe from the risks of carbon monoxide. For me, this is very personal. As a firefighter with the Brantford Fire Department for 34 years, I responded to countless emergencies, both fire and carbon monoxide related. But nothing prepared me for the day in December 2008 that we lost 4 family members to the silent killer. My niece, Lori Hawkins, an OPP officer in Woodstock, her husband, Richard, and their 2 children, Cassandra and Jordan, all died when a block chimney vent forced carbon monoxide from their gas fireplaces back into their home. They had no warning. They did not have a carbon monoxide alarm. People often say to me, John, as a firefighter, shouldn't you have made sure they had a CO alarm? And you know what? They're right. That still haunts me to this day. But guess what? I didn't have one either. Back in 2008, there wasn't much attention paid to the deadly consequences of this poisonous gas. My family's horrible accident motivated me to create the Hawkins Janak Foundation for Carbon Monoxide Education, both in honor of their memory and to make sure no other family ever has to endure the kind of suffering we have, especially when it's so preventable. Since we began, our foundation has been committed to public education and awareness campaigns right across the country. And I won't stop until every Canadian is protected from the silent killer. The reason carbon monoxide is called the silent killer is that humans can't see, smell, or taste it. And there's only one way to detect it. That's with a working CSA-approved CO alarm. Each and every year in this country, there are hundreds of emergency room visits due to carbon monoxide exposure and more than 50 reported deaths. These can be prevented by taking 2 simple steps. 1, have a fuel burning appliance and equipment inspected every year by a TSSA certified technician. Number 2, install a carbon monoxide alarm outside all sleeping areas and test and replace them according to manufacturer's directions. 7 to 10 years is the maximum lifespan. My niece, Lori, served her entire career in public safety. Even with her passing, she continues to symbolize the love and resilience of family and inspires me to bring attention to the importance of carbon monoxide alarms. I often feel Lori tapping me on the shoulder, encouraging me to continue educating Canadians on the dangers of carbon monoxide. I can't change what happened to my family, but I can make sure it doesn't happen to yours. This is Lori's legacy. And events like this, even virtual ones, are critical when we are to continue getting the word out. My thanks again to Chief Bernie and all fire departments across Durham Region for their great work. And to Bonnie Rose, Alexandra, Stu, and everyone else at TSSA for their leadership and investment in the excellent education pamphlets being sent directly to Durham households. It's Carbon Monoxide Awareness Week, so please take this opportunity to do everything you can to keep your family safe. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for sharing this incredibly heart-wrenching story with us and for your personal crusade and mission to keeping Lori and her family's legacy alive, and your unwavering commitment to educating residents of the dangers of carbon monoxide. I'd now like to call upon Stu Seaton to give some remarks. Stu?
Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everyone, and thank you again for joining us. First, I would like to say how much I appreciate the tremendous work of all the fire and emergency services people who work so hard every day to keep us safe. Their efforts and those of the frontline workers over this past year demonstrate how committed they are to the health and safety of Ontarians. I'd also like to thank John and the Hawkins-Genack Foundation for the endless hard work and passion that they devote towards carbon monoxide safety. John's story is so compelling and tragically emphasizes why we are here today. Carbon monoxide is a leading cause of accidental poisoning in Ontario every year. But together, we can reduce the risk for our families and our loved ones. In my over 20 years of being involved in fuel safety, I have investigated far too many incidents involving carbon monoxide. And unfortunately, the majority have occurred in homes across Ontario, and most, if not all, could have been prevented through annual inspections and regular maintenance by certified fuels technicians. Let me give you just a couple of examples of things that we come across in all types of homes far too often. Cracked heat exchangers. Heat exchangers are a critical part of home furnaces, and while essential, like most manufactured products, they must be regularly inspected to ensure that they are operating safely. These life-saving annual inspections are not a do-it-yourself project. Most of us are not trained or experienced and should leave this to the professionals who are. They have many years of training and experience. Only TSSA certified fuels technicians can properly inspect and maintain your heating, cooling, and ventilation systems, as an unidentified cracked heat exchanger is unfortunately far too common source of carbon monoxide in people's homes. Certified technicians check this critical component as a core element in their annual furnace inspection. Can carbon monoxide incidents be prevented? The simple answer is yes. Identifying issues like those in these photos reduce carbon monoxide risks. Getting annual inspections and regular maintenance for fuel burning appliances, and that means all of them, not just your furnace, are essential to reduce CO risks in our homes. While annual inspection by certified technicians is a must, the buck just doesn't stop there. This is where we can all do things as we go about our day-to-day activities in and around our homes. Let me give you a couple of examples. Blocked chimneys and vents. Chimneys and vents can become blocked for a variety of reasons, causing carbon monoxide to build up and force back into the home. The story I'm about to tell you would almost be funny were it not for the devastating effects it can have on the occupants of the home. Most of us have directly or indirectly encountered various challenges with the furried and feathered friends, sometimes and often around our homes. Their seemingly boundless energy and borderline devious habits have a history of causing all sorts of havoc for many of us. Their activities can lead to an increase in carbon monoxide risks. Building nests and blocking vents seems to be one of their endless pursuits. Checking around your home and looking for the critter's latest project is another key way we can all reduce the carbon monoxide risks. While you're scoping out things around the home, make a habit of looking for signs of rodent work, twigs or debris on the ground beside a chimney, chimney caps askew, vent covers chewed on. Critters always leave sign that they're working on something, and it's good to be aware of something that wasn't there last week. Finally, let's not forget about Mother Nature. Water can damage items such as chimney liners. Keep an eye out for things like damaged or missing chimney caps that may allow rain or snow to enter and possibly corrode the liner. And yes, winter is coming, so keeping vents and gas meters clear of snow is another important item that should be on all of our to-do lists. We understand that our lives are busy and challenging, and we all try to do our best. So it's not about assigning blame. It's providing vital carbon monoxide safety information and reminding people about important safety routines that are critical to keeping them and their families safe. When it comes to carbon monoxide safety in our homes, we all play a role. It is a shared responsibility. I can tell you that my colleagues and I at Tsfa come to work every day with one goal in mind: public safety. We'll do everything we can, but we need the help of all Ontarians to beat the silent killer. It's about a defense in depth. That is two things we all need to do. One, get that annual inspection by a Tssa certified fuels technician. And two, install and test your certified carbon monoxide alarms and replace them as indicated by the manufacturer. Campaigns like this one recognize the need to provide key safety information to residents. I am honored to be involved today and to work alongside individuals like Fire Chief Bernie and the fire chiefs and their respective departments across Durham Region, Ajax, Oshawa, Pickering, Whitby, Brock, Scugog, and Uxbridge Townships, and the municipality of Clarington, John and his foundation. As Bonnie mentioned earlier, please keep your eye out for crucial carbon monoxide safety materials arriving in your mailboxes over the coming days. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, Stu. This now concludes our panelist remarks. And so I'd like to open it up to anybody who's joined us and has questions. We have the speakers available to answer questions, so we can call John or Stu back up here, Bonnie Rose, and we have Chief Bernie who's joined us remotely. So we have had actually a couple questions come in, and so I think the first couple I'll be asking John to come up. So the first one is, after over 10 years since the loss of your family, the person would like to know how you stay motivated.
Well, with all the education and the 12 years of experience, nothing is more rewarding than our foundation being able to save lives. We know the programs and the law is doing what it's supposed to. It's saving lives. And working with the fire departments right across Ontario and Canada, we've heard numbers of stories where our foundation is directly responsible for saving lives. And that is enough motivation for me. If I can save one life, that's well worth all my efforts.
The next question is, should CO alarms be installed on the ceiling or at floor level?
CO is the same density as air, or in other words, it weighs the same. So you can put a CO alarm anywhere in your home, whether it be in the receptacle on the floor or on the ceiling. Unlike smoke detectors, they should be on the ceiling because heat and smoke rises and it activates. So it's where it'll activate the detector the best. So my answer basically is CO is the same density as air, put it anywhere in your house.
There's a question for TSSA that I'll answer, and it says, do you believe homeowners pay attention to TSSA's direct mail program? And I would say yes. So the direct mail that's going to be coming to homes in Durham, we have run this similar campaign in other parts of the province, and we have done some research to show that, in fact, it is information that homeowners read, pay attention to, and take the advice in terms of making sure that they have CO alarms installed, particularly in sleeping areas. As Chief Burney noted, it's the law now in Ontario. But we do want to raise awareness and let everybody know to expect these things in the mail. Don't bundle it with the coupons if you're not reading them. Make sure you pull that information out and read it and discuss it, and make sure all the members of your household are aware of, particularly your children. If they're ever home alone, they know what to do if that CO alarm goes off. So we have another question for Chief Burney, and hopefully we can switch over to him. Would you say all your fire crews are as committed to CO as much as fire safety?
Hi, thank you for that question. Yes, in fact, I can tell you unequivocally that safety in general is paramount for all of our staff and fire services, regardless of whether it's a fire emergency or a CO emergency. And we address both matters with the same level of urgency.
Thank you. And we have another question. Probably Stu or John could answer it. Is it okay to buy CO alarms from Amazon and other online retailers? Is it okay to buy CO alarms from Amazon and other online retailers? Oh, it just moved. I guess as long as they're approved.
The one thing to look for when you purchase a carbon monoxide detector is the approval of the detector. And maybe I can just point it out on this one that this particular unit has got an Intertech mark on it, and you can be very well assured that if it has a laboratory mark on it like that, it is good. So have a very, very close look at the unit and make sure it's got a certified mark on it. Where you buy it is not of consequence. It's how it's marked.
Thank you. At the moment, we have one more question, so I'll go to that. If anybody is typing in another one, we can take a couple more questions. The next one is, are there any safety tips to make sure the CO alarms are in good working condition? Do you want to answer that one, Stu?
What was can you repeat the question for me,
please? Any safety tips to make sure the CO alarm is in good working condition?
Oh, my goodness. Masks. How to test your CO alarm. There's a test button on the CO alarm. Simply follow manufacturer's written instructions on it. Hit the test button. If it alarms and shuts off like it's supposed to, that's good. The unit is working. I have yet to see a CO detector fail for any reason other than expired batteries.
I have one more question. I'll ask you if you can answer this, Mark Burney. Maybe you've encountered this. It says, how do I convince my parents, folks who live alone, about the importance of CO alarms and their maintenance? Did you hear the question?
Hi, thank you for the question. You know, something I believe just relating CO safety to any other type of safety measure or action that one's parents would take on a regular basis, whether it be with their vehicle safety, their smoke alarm safety. CO safety is right up there. And as we all know, it is the silent killer. There's no advance notice. So I think that in itself should highlight the importance of CO safety to anybody.
Okay, so I think that looks like all of the questions that we've had come in advance. So thank you everybody for joining us. This now brings us to the close of today's events. Once again, I do want to thank all of the panelists who spoke today, Scugog Fire Chief and Durham Regional Fire Coordinator Mark Burney, all the chiefs and departments who've partnered with us across the Durham region, John Jinak and his foundation, as we join forces in our mutual goal of broadening Ontarians' awareness of carbon monoxide safety. Thank you, everybody.